Hi, welcome to Pro Stitcher Designer Tips and Tricks. Do you have a quilt with appliques on it? My mom likes to make quilt tops with flowers on them, and the flowers are made out of a Dresden design. She's given me several of those quilt tops. Now, wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to do a blanket stitch around those flowers? Well, with Pro Stitcher Designer, it is super easy. So what I did is I took a picture of one of the flowers on the quilt. So if you've got a quilt with an applique on it that you want to applique a blanket stitch around, take a picture of the area where you want to put that blanket stitch around. So then you need to import the picture. To do that, you come up to the backdrop tool over here on the right side, and you click on it and you drag down to load. It will bring up this window, and you just navigate around, or you navigate to where you have saved your picture of the quilt. So here's mine, the Dresden design, and I say open. On the right side, and the window's over to the right, you want to click on this little picture. It looks like a mountain with the sun over it. Click on that, and that will give you these different options for the backdrop. So I want to lighten it so it makes it easier as I am making the design around. So I'm saying, oh, that light, so I'm saying apply. So that makes the picture lighter. I can still see it, but that makes it easier for me to draw around it so that I can have a design that I can put the blanket stitch on. So I'm just coming over to the line tool, and I am going to go around this Dresden design with the line tool. Now I am going to, when you see that, I am going to make it go really, really fast so you're not bored watching me do it in the real time, slow time. So hold on for just a second and watch this really fast. There. Now I have drawn all around this Dresden design, and I'm going to give it now that blanket stitch. So I'm coming up and I'm getting my select tool so that it is selected, and on the right hand side I am coming over here to where it says outlines. I am clicking on motif. Now you'll notice that the default gives like this diamond pattern. But if you click on the right side, get a drop-down list of all the different designs that they've got here. And I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom. So there's blanket stitch 1, or blanket 1 and blanket 2. I'm going to choose blanket 2, and then I'm going to say apply. And there you've got your blanket stitch for your design. Now, one of the things that you'll notice, see how these lines are going out? If you want it a little bit different, I'm going to come back up here to blanket 1 and say apply, and then the blanket stitch goes inside on top of the applique. Okay, so let's see now how it stitches out. Let's come up to preview and click on stitch out, and I'm just clicking on run. Whoops. And there it goes. Well, I'm going to stop it. You don't have to watch it do all the stitching all the way around. So now I'm coming over to tools, and I'm having my select tool, and I'm going to select this in a second because I want to get rid of this and show you that you can do that on other things, not just the Dresden design. So I am selecting it. And now I'm deleting it. Now I need to get rid of the backdrop. So come back over to the backdrop tool and drag down to delete, and that will get rid of your backdrop picture. So now I'm going to show you how you can do it around the different shapes. So here's the artwork, and let's just go down to Oh, let's see. A leaf. A lot of times there are appliques that have leaves on stems. So here you just have a leaf, and I am selecting it. I'm coming over to the right side. I'm clicking to motif, and then I am clicking on the design, the pattern, and I'm dragging down, and I'm going to do blanket stitch 1 and then say apply. There's the design with the stitches going outward. If you want to have it going the other way, come to blanket stitch 2 and say apply. So you can do that with circles, squares, triangles, any shape that you want. You can also do that with anything that might be appliqued on a quilt, a butterfly, anything, a house, a rabbit, an animal. So it's really easy to take a picture of that design, bring it in as a backdrop, and then trace around it, and then put the blanket stitch as a motif around it. And then you've got a wonderful blanket stitch to put on your quilt. There's something else that I want to show you that's really fun that you can do with motifs. I'm coming up to the artwork, and I am going to select the ellipse. I'm holding the control key down on my keyboard because I want to make a perfect circle, and you get that by holding down the control key on your keyboard. So now I'm coming up and I'm getting my select tool. I am coming over to the right side and I'm clicking on motif, and the default is this little diamond. So you could do this around an applique if you wanted, or you can just make that a design that you quilt on your quilt. I want to show you a couple of other fun things with the patterns. I'm going to come down to pattern, let's see, 162. This is like pearls. So if you wanted to do a circle with pearls around it, there you go. And if you want to make those pearls bigger, come up to the pattern length on the right side, and I'm going to select that, and let's see, I am going to type in a 5, and I'm going to say apply, and so then that makes it bigger. You've got a bigger pearl around this circle. Let's go over here to the pattern, and let's see, let's do hearts. So that's pattern 154, and I'm hitting apply. And so you could have a circle with hearts around it, or any of the other shapes that you've got under artwork. Or you could do that instead of the blanket stitches around your applique, you could do these types of designs that would add a little bit of personality and pizzazz to your quilt. Let's see, let's do one more. Let's come down to, let's see, where did it go? Oh, 143. That is just a little bit of a different kind of a heart. Can you see? I'm going to zoom in even more. So it's a little bit different of a heart with that rather than the heart pattern. Now I'm tapping the spacebar on my keyboard to bring the design front and center. So you can come over to the pattern and choose any of these patterns that you want to quilt around an applique instead of just the blanket design. I hope that this shows you just how easy it is to put a blanket stitch around an applique on a quilt, or any other designs that we have over here in the pattern options. Thanks so much for watching Pro Stitcher Designer Tips and Tricks.